I should remember to unmute things there. Webbs, how's it going? You saw where my character was AFK earlier, I see. The background is being real weird on OBS right now. Let me try to make it smaller. Why is NVIDIA doing this? That better? Oh, that's worse. Haircut moment? Yeah. You know what the worst thing is about this haircut? Is it's revealed like a little bit of this the hairline going back a little bit, receding hairline that's on my dad's side of the family. So a bit unfortunate. It's more pronounced on my right side than it is the left. Not something I wanted to see. Martin, how's it going, man? Let me change some of the lights here because NVIDIA's being funky there. Is that better? Something in the background is making it funky. I was thinking it was the like that kid's Kindle there because the case of it's pink, but it's still freaking out a little bit. Well, if I go to blur, that better. That works. It just uses a lot of space. Okay. Waiting for the train to go to the office. Yeah, this. I don't know how long I'm going to stream today. Normally I don't stream at all on Fridays here, but I just felt like just turning it on while I was getting my dailies done and all that. I've double checked the project on the McStuds KDF fleet. Everything looks fine there. No new upgrades to slot for now. I know. It's a really, really random stream. Let me make sure I've got the right stuff open. There we go. Okay. I went through and did some testing last night regarding the Valkyrie fighters versus the rare Toadouge. So I was going through doing some testing side by side, just curious to see which of these pets works better if you do have SAD and you have a console like Swarmer Matrix, which boosts Hangar pets. And I went through, did the testing, and the Toadouge, they're still better than the Valkyries, unfortunately. So I went through, I copied this build over to Tribble, went to the test map, and did a 10-minute test, and the Toadouge did 120k DPS. Keep in mind, this was against 5 static, unshielded targets that don't shoot back, they don't move, they literally just sit still and are grouped up. So the Toadouge did quite well, and then the Valkyries, I mean, they did well, but they did like I think it's 29% worse than the Toadouge did. So the Valkyries are still good, but the Toadouge, those rare Toadouge, are just so damn good. Okay, let's see what the dailies are here. Phaser damage space, destroy Undine ships, complete Iconian TFOs. I'm gonna reroll the Ico TFO. I really don't feel like doing that right now. Defeat Terran Empire on ground. Well, that's easy. Operation Wolf. Do I have any problems with the game lag-wise? Yeah, the server performance just has not been good most of the year for me. And if you have a ton of things on your spam bar, you will have a lot more issues with ability activation right now. Seems to be much worse than normal. Early morning? I know, but it is like it is, you know, fairly early for me. In fact, where can I show this? Let me turn the overlay off for a second. It is 6:23 for me. It's also 22 degrees out right now. What the hell? 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I can change that to Celsius here too for those of you that are not American. So it's currently -6 degrees Celsius out. Feels like -13 after wind chill. Absolutely terrible. 9:23 for you. We turn the overlay back on. Yep. So feet turns ground. This is easy. It is, yeah, it's 6:24 a.m. for me, so. But I woke up at like 9 p.m. last night, so my sleep schedule is just so bad right now. I'm gonna try to turn the background blur back to removal. See, it's still messing up. Does the chair flickering behind me annoy you guys at all? Like, do you prefer this with the background removed, or would you rather have just the background blur like it just was, where you just test like my background is blurred? Your purchased bundles also disappeared, Martin? That's not good. Do you still have the ships in the ships tab though? Yeah, it looks like they intended to go live with the new Muds bundle yesterday is what I think happened. And then something changed scheduling wise and they rescheduled it. Yeah, the ships, the items, okay. Dark Ghost, how you doing? I've had an entire pot of coffee already. It's terrible. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the other side. Operation Wolf is great for ground endeavors. Like, if you have to kill Terrans on ground or do any ground damage accolades, it's great. Or ground damage endeavors, I mean. Gotcha, Martin. So they're just not there at all. I'm hoping we get the announcement blog today. If they do, then I'll do a breakdown video before I go to bed. I don't know how much more I'm going to talk about the Bordicus topic. I don't know if I'll even have a dedicated video to it. Like, I think a lot of the stuff with Bordicus there, we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. And I know some people weren't happy with my response to it, to that situation on Truce's podcast the other night. I know there was some feedback about me joking about whoever made the decision to do the nerfs a couple months back should probably be fired. That was a bit harsh, but I do think for them as a business, the blowback from those nerfs was people don't trust them anymore. Every time I talk about a new ship, every time I look at another content creator's video regarding a new ship, there's almost always at least one or two comments about people saying that they would get the ship for the console, but they don't trust that Cryptic's not going to go through and nerf it later on. So I think for them as a business, that decision, whether or not they intended it to, has left a lot of players not trusting them. So, Waldo, how's it going? Chell, yeah, I had heard about that, and the guy they had on the other day is actually the person I was sort of thinking would probably be the new lead. Jonathan Turlach, I think his name is. And if that's the case, then that's good to see. Yeah, Waldo. How's it going for you? Are you enjoying this lovely weather out right now? Really nice and warm out. Let me change this back to freedom units. Terrible. Wonder what's it at over in Spencer? 21 degrees Fahrenheit. Terrible. Yeah, we really did. Because yesterday it was like in the 60s. We actually at one point yesterday or the day before had the air on when it was going through with those storms because it was just so humid and it was getting just so warm in here. Um, oh no, I had some conversations with Triz about that the entire podcast thing, and I don't know. I think there's definitely been some feedback that needs to be taken into account. I think McStud's brought up too with Triz's podcast, the Shuttle Bay thing, that it tends to be fairly negative. And I do feel like most of the times when we talk is when something negative happens with the game. So I don't know what to say there. Um, so it's like -6 Celsius, 22 degrees Fahrenheit. And Fahrenheit is freedom units, of course. What are the best types of cannons? Dual heavy cannons. But if you're asking like specific damage type, um, then the answer is going to be Terran, Rep, do DHC plus like 4 spiral waves. Like if you're absolutely looking to min max, Terran plus spiral waves is going to be best. And the reason spirals specifically is because the spiral modifier is actually damage times 2 plus the phaser proc. So realistically, these are crit D damage times 5 weapons. So spiral waves are one of the few weapons in the game where they actually do have an advantage over other weapon types out there. Yeah, spirals are from the Cardassian ships. Having any Cardassian ship in your ship roster will make them available to purchase in your dilithium store. They are expensive though. They're like 50k per weapon. Or not 50, yeah, about 40k. So right around it's 45k pre-discount, then yeah. Any thoughts on the new Muds bundle? Um I should be careful because sometimes there are people out there that get really unhappy about leaks being talked about and things like that. But I think that the new Muds bundle does look quite solid. There's 2 ships in it that are probably going to be the must picks, and then it's hard for the third pick. Yeah. But I don't want to get into the specifics of that just because, like I said, there are some people that get real unhappy when leaks are talked about, and I don't want to risk getting in trouble anymore than I already do with me talking about things like this. I'm hoping that the blog comes out later today so I can talk about it, but until they officially announce it, I'm not gonna do my specific thoughts publicly, other than what I just said. Destroy Undine ships, phaser damage space. Well, I would just if you're curious what the new bundle potentially is, I would just say to look back at a news video from yesterday where I even have it chaptered out. And if you just look at the top row of tabs that I had open, I think that should point you in the right direction. The distractor options are a bigger joke than ever. Yeah, that third pick, or the secondary options, the not ship choices. Yeah. Yeah, just go look at the news video I did yesterday. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Casual B. I mean, even throughout most of the video, like if you just look up at the top bar here, you know, there's 4 ships up there at the top of that video. Oh, and I wonder what that could signify. Yes, absolutely, Waldo. And this one doesn't. I think, yeah, because this one's got this next one's got the bridge officer tokens, right? So yeah. Yeah. I I don't always watch their streams. If it's a new ship, I will try to, but sometimes it just the timing doesn't align, and like in this case, I was asleep when they did the last one. Um but there's usually a really good summary put up on Reddit by uh I forget the name. It's like Sajuk something, the name like that. That will go through and post a breakdown usually on the subreddit. So I usually just go through and read those. And if there is anything brought up, then usually it'll be on the recap on Reddit. I did get a question last night. They confirmed, by the way, that player infiltrator screwing up is known and looked into. Okay. Breakdown is very good. Yeah, I try to take the recap of it, do the comparison. Um, and I should have done a little bit deeper of a comparison. Like if I pull that back up. In fact, I even added this to the sheet later. There are other ships that have a commander and miracle worker combo, like commander command and lieutenant miracle worker. Actually quite a few of them. You know, there's the Terran Trailblazer, the Seneca that just came out, the Voth Rampart. Now, I was initially thinking maybe this Praetor, you know, being it was like such a copy paste of the Vorcha, maybe it would have been better if it'd been a 4/4. But then I was looking at it closer, and it's like if they'd done that as a 4/4, then the comparison would have been that, you know, it was a worse version of the Voth Rampart, because the Voth Rampart is a 4/4, similar but not quite similar bridge officer seating, but the Voth Rampart is a flight deck carrier with 2 hangar bays. So from in-game ESD chat on console side, barely anyone is using the Elite Bridge Officer tokens, as people are afraid it'll break their game. I'm gonna pick up the Praetor. I've got the T6 box ready to go. Mostly because I'm interested in the console and trait. The ship itself, like I said in that video, I've literally already got the ship because I've got the Vorcha. The Vorcha is a really great ship. I was using it as my side nuker for a while in some of the high-end ISE runs. I've used it as a side nuker in HSE. It's a solid ship. It really is like a really solid ship, and it's one of the 11th anniversary ones, so like I've got it on account unlock. This new Praetor, you know, it'd be per character. And this Vorcha, if you actually go through and look at all the different skin options for it, with all of the ships that were in the 11th anniversary bundle, it feels like they did a lot. They put in a lot more effort than usual on the ship models. Like some of them are, you know, still a bit dated, but some of these newer ones that they went through and made or updated, like the Kronos 1 skin on the Vorcha just looks really good. So it's a case for me of I've already got the Vorcha, but I'll still get the new one just because the console and trait. And back to the Elite Bridge Officer tokens. Let's see how that poll is doing here. And let me pull up the Reddit one I did. Now, there's a good point over on Reddit that even though not many people actually voted that they went and got, more of these Elite Bridge Officer tokens. In fact, most people that voted said they haven't even used the free one. But of the percentage of people that did try it out and ended up buying them for most or all of their bridge officers, that is still netting Cryptic a lot of money. Like that was a good point that was made in the Reddit thread when I did this poll, that while not many of us have been engaging with this heavily, the people that have been engaging with it have been engaging with it like at a very high level. Like they're buying loads of these tokens to upgrade all of their bridge officers. So it may not be the most popular system, but it does look like it's probably still pulling in some money for Cryptic. And on the community poll that I did here on the YouTube channel, it was a fairly similar breakdown where over 51% of people didn't use it. Another 32% had only used the free one. And, very few actually went out and bought more of them. So I got a question on Discord. Do I think introducing meta ships into MUDs bundles can translate into coming nerfs following what happened with the weather control vessel? I don't know. Like, I think that each of these, almost every MUDs bundle this year has had like a meta ship in it, and we've only had the one set of nerfs, right? So I don't think that them putting in high demand items into MUDs bundles is necessarily equaling that they're going to do a nerf. Webs, go back here. The ship looks like a massive moth from the rear, yeah. The Nicole weapon at Mark 12 and very rare is kind of decent. Yeah, the Nicole and the Nicole 2-piece, especially for being a free set that you can go out and get from a mission, is pretty solid. And yeah, I only use the free one on my Wei Yun Bridge Officer on the Jemadar character just to see whether or not that trait would be upgraded. Yeah, and Damo, that was like part of the reason I responded the way I did on Triz's podcast to Bordicus, moving off of the Stowe team. Like, those decisions to do those nerfs has eroded consumer confidence in the company, and I've seen comments like yours numerous times since those nerfs where people don't want to go out and buy ships right now for the consoles because they're worried that the consoles are going to get nerfed. And I think they went back, they did some stuff for Agony, but they never went back and did anything for the Neutronic Eddies console. They didn't do anything for Web Spinner. In fact, their response was they think that they're where they should be at now. So I think it is worth pointing out that they don't actually pull malicious bait and switches with nerfs. I would say, yeah, most of the time when they're doing a fix or nerf, it's often needed. Eddies was a powerful console though, and I do understand why a lot of people feel like they got burnt because Cryptic had 2 years to fix the damn thing, and they waited so long. It had been in the game for so long. It was put into the MUD store, and then a couple months after it gets put into MUDs, they nerf it. So they don't always do bait and switch, but there are definitely cases like with the eddies there where it very much feels like it. And I think for many, many people treat it as a malicious bait and switch. Yeah. The nerfs are historically too heavy because just the disconnect, if we go back and look at the Agony redistributor, one of the dev comments was that 2000 DPS for a console was still a lot. And it's just like they were rolling under like a 2011 mentality when it came to how much damage a console should be doing. Remember Tricobalt meta? That was a little bit before my time, but I do remember seeing, some footage of it where Tricobalt mines used to be able to one-shot most things. So Cryptic didn't like that, and they nuked them. Cryptic, especially with Bordicus, it was if something was nerfed under Bordicus's watch, it was either it was left alone, or if he had to go through and look at it again, it was getting hit by over 90% of what it did. So we saw it with the plasma consoles back in season 13. The embassy consoles from your fleet embassy, the plasma locators there, they were doing a lot of damage, and Cryptic nerfed them by, what was it, like 97%? So they literally did like 1 to 3% of what they did before. Plasmonic Leech, yeah. I don't remember if season 13 was all Spartan. Some of it, I think, was, for sure. But the plasma consoles getting hit like that was brutal. That's just the Cryptic way in general, is to just over-nerf things. Okay. I need to do phaser damage and destroy Undine ships. Let's pull the legendary D7 back out. I was in the Miracle Worker one last night to go through and do some testing with the pets there. And for those of you that missed that at the start of the stream, the Toadouge do still perform better than the Elite Valkyrie fighters. In the test that I did, the Elite Valkyrie fighters did 71% of the damage that the rare Toadouge did. Bit rough. I need to kill Undine ships, so I'm gonna head on over to the Undine Battlezone. Yeah, rare Toadouge are at least, easily accessible. The D7s, it really is nice just how much variety there is. There's so many different D7s in the game now. Okay, Space Battlezone. Yeah, the rare Toadouge are basically free. The advanced or rare, I can go test those. Let me finish this and let's do some Hangar pet testing over on Tribble. Yeah. I need to get some phaser damage, so I'll get that from the immolating phaser lance, and then destroy 10 Undine ships. So hopefully nobody comes over and steals some of these. Oh, there's already somebody over here. Rip. Oh, there's multiple people over here. I know Chel's watching, so I just want to make sure my piloting is great. How dare I ruin their immersion? Terrible. I'm not going to run around to get that last little bit of phase damage. Just go into Argala and hit him with the phaser lance in there. What is this? Yet another stream? I know. No. Okay, let me turn my display capture off and let me pop open Tribble. Yeah, it's I don't remember the lore reasons for that. I think there's a lore reason that some of the Klingon and Romulan stuff is similar. I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, then the Darien is just stupid for what it is. It's so good. Okay, so I'm going to try this under the same conditions that I tested the Oduge and the Valkyries. I'm going to take the Valkyries off, and you said the Peregrine Fighters. Let's give them a shot. I can get... Cannot complete... Well, I have all those items in my overflow. Terrible. Okay. Gotcha. I knew there was something lore-wise for it, I just didn't remember. Let me get some more dilithium over here, too. Nice thing about Tribble, you can just go and get as much ECE, dilithium, and all that as you want. Oh, gotta love the Tribble test server. Yeah. So you said the... Let's do the Advanced Peregrine Fighters. And let's see how they perform under... Or they're going to have SAD, and they're going to have Swarmer Matrix, which is a nice universal console you can get off the exchange that boosts Hangar pets. And then I'm also going to use the Sensor Suspension Burst console from the Jirok Alliance Carrier, because that has a clicky on it that will increase the amount of crit chance your pets have. So doing the Advanced Peregrine. And let me start the parser up. Let's open it up. Why is the FPS suddenly so bad? Let me... it's because I'm in a loading screen. It always lags really bad when I'm in a loading screen. Gotcha. Yep, Vandy shields are very, very expensive. Okay, let me get these pets out. I'm gonna have them dock. Let me move this stuff off my tray. Lock Sound, how's it going? Just getting some testing done. We're gonna test the Toadouche Fighter Squadron versus the Advanced Peregrine Fighters. I imagine the Toadouche are going to win, but we're gonna run this test. I'm gonna use the triple test map, do some static testing against some stationary targets. So let me get those spawned out here quick. Active combat scenario, test dummies. Let's go to 5. And let me get them all grouped up around number 3 here. Yeah, the Vandy shields, like, they're cool, but I don't go too crazy for them. I'm gonna lower the render scale to 0.7 here. Strong gravel, well, it doesn't matter how strong your gravel really is here. These things don't like to move when you don't have movement turned on for them. Okay. I'm gonna move my microphone a little bit so I can see my entire monitor. Sounds look good, everything looks good. And now we just have to wait for the pets to start kicking in and doing stuff. Yeah, it's like the visuals get a bit nuts here with the test map. Yeah, it's exclusive to the triple test server. I don't know why some of the Toadouche fighters are like dying. Do they like ram or something? Do these Toadouche like ram or something? No? I don't know why those ones were dying there. These test dummies don't shoot. Oh, those old Foundry maps were amazing. Look at all this visual spam, though. You should have seen this with the Valkyries. Nothing's dying, though, so there's no warp core. Yeah, maybe. So I'm gonna end this when it gets to 5 minutes on the timer here. We're only really looking at pet DPS, so whatever my deeps is, this doesn't really matter that much. That visual spam, though. Yeah, so that was about 5 minutes. Let's see the pets here. Um, so if you were wondering about the performance of the Peregrine fighters, they did. Let's see here. They did 37% of what the Toadouche fighter squadron did, and that is the rare Toadouche fighters. So you can basically get the Toadouche for free, but you do need to run Superior Area Denial, the trait known as SAD, if you want to really maximize their performance. That's harmless compared to the average Psy build, yeah. Psy or Torp will get a massive number in this environment. Paid Zen to buy the Fakiri carrier, had no idea that the pets were garbage. Yeah. SAD, do keep in mind that SAD is available in the 12th anniversary bundle. If you were ever interested in getting that bundle, that would get you it on account-wide unlock. And unfortunately, if you are somebody interested in the carrier playstyle, you really want SAD. It's just so damn good. Rob, how's it going, man? Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm on a tactical character. Everything's going great. Maximizing pet performance is not a good payoff. No, it's not. Pets in total, like pets will do only a small portion of your damage. I did a run on the Miracle Worker D7 last week, 2 hangar bays of the Valkyrie fighters, and they did like 10% of my damage. So you can't build around pets doing damage. They just don't do enough damage to be good enough for that. Um, but SAD does actually increase your performance, like for your actual build, because it does also have a debuff associated to it. So if we look at SAD here, Superior Area Denial, it is debuffing everything you hit. And that does stack with other people that use SAD. So any high level coordinated run is going to have everyone but the DPS player using SAD. And in a channel environment or just random hugs, like SAD is boosting you. It's debuffing things to make it easier for you and your team to kill things. And it is boosting these fighter squadron pets up quite a bit if you want to use those. It is absolutely meta for the supporting team in 5-mans. But there are some DPS builds where if you have 2 hangar bays on your ship and you're running fighter squadrons, then yes, you would also want to go through and look at SAD on your build. The Jupiter's frigates, I don't actually own the Jupiter. Are the Jupiter frigate pets, are those locked to that ship, or? Really don't remember what those. What's this console do? I don't remember this one. Oh, it's stuck to being usable only on that ship. That's why nobody uses it. Okay. Yeah, Still Better has a really good breakdown on pets. But the way they test things is a little bit different. They have a specific patrol they do, and they've made it so if you want to go through and do the testing, um, they go through and do it in like a patrol, if I recall. So even for them, like it's just the Toadoo's are just so damn good. Toadoo's are really just hard to beat. So what are the frigate pets on the Jupiter? Because the wiki Control F it. Callisto frigates. Let's pop this open in a new tab. Look for Stowe. I don't think anyone's tested them fully. I mean, they've tested them and they did like 90, like 9,451 DPS on a carrier without SAD. That looks fairly underwhelming. What weapons do these Callisto pets have? I mean, I think they would probably do better under SAD, but the thing is, the reason SAD does so well with these fighter squadrons is because they have a different type of cannon, the pulse cannons, and they just pulse cannons interact very odd with SAD. That's why they nerfed the Todouche fighters a year or so back, or 2 years. It's been a while, but anyone notice the decrease in announcements from STO this week and think the vibe for 10 forward was bad? I didn't watch all of the 10 forward stream. I was sleeping when it happened. But the decrease in announcements, I don't think is like that big of a deal to worry about this week. You know, we just had console get the big season update on PC. We have events running right now. I think there's a chance that we might see a blog later today that's maybe going over the new Muds bundle, the next event in the event campaign, or like the blog for that Romulan ship. Yeah. And it looks like we have the next event for the event campaign starting up next week, I think on Thursday. So Ed, but if you fly the Jupiter, isn't its console rather good? 20% Cat 2 damage boost. Yeah, maybe, but let me check here. So let's take a look closer at that console again. So the issue with this is while it is a nice damage bonus for the team, especially 20% Cat 2, that's only for 15 seconds, and the issue you're going to run into is the ship itself just isn't going to offer a ton of utility. or like team support. Um, if we're looking at, you know, what ship is like the meta right now for supporting, it's the Silic. And if we look at, you know, this fleet coordination matrix and then we compare it to the Silic, you know, the Silic has this IFF manipulator console that's locked to it, where this thing gives up to minus 400 debuff to the target it's marked on. So the Silic has 2 hangar bays. Back, probably go pop that open to show. The Silic has 2 hangar bays. It's got not as good of a bridge officer setup, but it does have command for torp boosting. But the IFF manipulator console is just so damn good for supporting. Any news on who is Bordeki's replacement? I think it's the guy that they had on 10 forward this week, the Jonathan Herlach, I think his name was. The one that had the Futurama background. I'm pretty sure that's Sport's replacement. They've been doing the 50% lifetime membership for a while now. I picked mine up in early 2021 at that price. Yeah. They've been doing the 50% sale for a while. So it's been going on for a few years. I'm not too worried about it. And I think that for them, there's probably less people that are willing to buy the lifetime nowadays. So I think doing that 50% sale does make a lot of sense. Yeah. So, um, back to the Jupiter. The Jupiter, it's fine, but then you also have to consider that there is another console very similar to this fleet coordination matrix, and it's off of the um the Jem'Hadar heavy escort carrier, I think. So so heavy strike wing escort now. Yeah. Okay. So Fleet Maneuver Gamma is a somewhat similar console. It's not as good. The damage boost isn't as good, but it can be used on any ship. Do I own the Guardian? Yes. Yeah, I got it free, or not free. I got it through one of the promotions. Yeah, I would love to see a carrier revamp, but I just don't see that happening. I am of the belief right now that we're not going to see any big shakeups when it comes to the systems in this game. Yeah, and that is very much a big issue with the Silic console. The IFF manipulator is single target, and it diminishes the debuff it gives based on how many targets are around that primary target. So if there's 10 ally or 10 more enemies around that target within a couple of kilometers of it, the debuff you get from it is removed. So it does have issues. What are you wanting to test there, Chell? Gonna head back over to um the holodeck here. Um, I don't think I would ever switch from PC to console personally. STO on console is not the same experience. Guardian console gives up to 100%. Gotcha. Thaleron, terrible Chell. Thaleron runs are very difficult. Thaleron runs are very highly coordinated DPS runs. In theory, they have the highest DPS potential. In practice, they require a very high level team, which means that while they may be meta, they're too hard for the majority of people to pull off. But basically, with Thaleron, you have the Thaleron person getting into a certain position on the map. They boost up the Thaleron as far as possible, and the team does everything possible to maximize the amount of targets that are going to be caught in the Thaleron's uh, area of effect. Yeah, they're quite difficult to pull off, and getting the people for that type of run is even more difficult. Nice. And yeah, at least the thing with console is that the DLX is not as bad as it currently is on PC. Yeah, Thaleron runs are interesting. The current ISA record is with Thaleron. Um and the deep stuff I know not everyone's into, but it is something that some people do to give themselves something to do at endgame. Um it can do a lot of damage. It just isn't very practical for every situation because it's like 30 seconds of you just buffing up basically. Yeah. It's I'd say the most difficult thing with Thaleron is the getting the team properly set up, making sure that the execution of the run happens correctly. But no, you cannot. I don't think at least. Because Thaleron has like a 12-second charge up. If I could only change one thing in STO, what would I change? Um, I would I would probably say I would change the reward structure for elite content. I would I would revamp the reward structure to make it so people would have incentive to play elite content again. Servers is a really good answer though. Chell, that is actually true. I guess another, and I guess this is more for me personally. If I could change only one thing in ST or one thing about STO, it would be that like most of the client, most of the game was hosted locally on each player's end because their servers are rough. Devs for you, yeah. I'm thinking too small with the like the elite rewards revamp. The thing is, they do have new owners, and it's nothing's changed. Bring back the Foundry, yeah, that'd be great. But the issue with the Foundry was the people that understood how to maintain it left the company. I believe I have, yeah, I even have the Mirror Guardian here. Yeah. Yeah, I got the Mirror Guardian from the promotion, the charity promotion a while back. Yeah. So let me find a random character here. So one that has space for a ship. Or actually, Top Fleet might actually already have that ship. Rydia, no, it still is an option in the event campaign. A ship being put into mud simply means that it has another route to be added to, or another route for you to obtain it. It has no impact on its availability. Yeah, I would love to see the devs engage with the game more from a player point of view. Yeah, that's a big issue right there too with the game is there's no explanation in the game on how to play the game. You have to do a lot of external research. Okay, so Guardian. Terrible. Let's just random that. Oh. I have the Fleet Guardian here, and I've got the console. But the issue with this, I mean, in HSE this would work, Chell, but in IS, you're not going to be taking that incoming damage as the Thaleron user. Early morning dailies and cheating. Yeah, I had some politically themed names on some of these characters a while back. Um, for reference, before anything happened in 2016. Don't want to get political there, but it was before that election had even happened. I was doing some meme names on this character. So yeah. I think I've changed most of this now. Look how old this build is, though. Plasma, the Plasma Embassy consoles. HSC only? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it could work for that, Chell. But what are you giving up on Thaleron for that? Kabali console? Yeah, back when Kabali... This is a pre-DPRM build. This is pre-DPRM. This is before the protomatter field projector console, the reiterative structural capacitor. Like, this is before a lot of the clicky consoles that we have now that have made survivability just stupidly easy. Weakest console right now? Yeah, it could definitely work. So, what are your latest calculations, Chell, for like a max one hit for Thaleron? What is this? Let's see what that is. USS, what is this? Oh yeah. It's the Walmart Defiant. That's what this is. This is a ship that I have not used in a very long time. Could be 65. Yeah, this is one of the original Intel ships. So this is, ignore the build on it. It's being used for gear storage, but oh yeah, this is very much gear storage. But this ship was one of the original Intel ships that was released with Delta Rising. So fairly old, but with Intel being better nowadays, it is still a decent ship. I remember buying this thing to try out the trait, and then I never used it again. The Jovian Intel Heavy Raider. Will there be a tier 7 ship? No. I do not believe we will ever see tier 7 in this game. Um, because STO used to only have tier 5 ships, okay? When Delta Rising came out back in 2014, they introduced tier 6 ships. The result is that they lost a very large portion of the player base because every player that had went out and bought a ton of tier 5 ships, with that season being released, had just basically been told that they would have to rebuy their ships in T6 form, and people did not like that, so they're not doing T7. We don't have content that warrants it, yeah. Instead, what's going to happen, instead of us getting tier 7, what's going to happen is you're going to see that we continue to get tier 6X type upgrades on ships. So, they've done the tier 6X, but there's also the possibility for them to do more tokens like that in the future. And we already know that they have the system in place to make it so that you have to use a certain type of upgrade before you can use the other, because you can use a T6X token on a tier 5 ship, but only once the tier 5 ship has been upgraded to T5U. So rather than give us tier 7 versions of our ships and absolutely piss off a good chunk of the player base, they are going to come out with more tokens that upgrade our existing tier 6 ships to what tier 7 would be. My thoughts on what would be best for for the next tier 6X type token. Obviously another starship trait slot is a given. Another console would also be welcomed by people, but another set of things they could do. They could do like +1 hangar bay. Now that might be a bit funky for some of the really smaller ships, but I think that would really satisfy people if they could run pets on, basically any ship. It would also, help carriers out a little bit. Another thing that they could do is make it so if you buy like a tier 6 XX token, your ship gets another bridge officer that is like a lieutenant or lieutenant commander. Like something like that. Any of those approaches would be enough for a lot of people. Yeah, an extra buff slot, especially just imagine it was like a universal specialization seat. So if you use this T6XX token, you get an additional lieutenant commander seat on your ship that can use any specialization of your choice. Yeah, they don't even have to get creative. Yeah, absolutely. People would pay for more console slots, more ship slots. Absolutely. I don't think we're necessarily going to see more weapon slots, but I could see them do like the plus bridge officer slot. I don't think would be that big of a deal. I also think the +1 hangar bay slot would be fairly interesting. And if they're worried about it being, bad for smaller ships, there's probably other things they could do. Like imagine if you use a tier 6 XX token on a small escort, instead of getting a hangar bay, you get a second experimental weapon. Like they have a lot of options for what they would want to do there, or what they could do there. It's just a matter of if they're willing to put the time in to execute it. Yeah, adding an experimental weapon to larger ships could be interesting. Yeah, and Paul, like you said there, if they have to do T7, that's a lot of time investment on their part. for them, it is easier to just give us more tokens so that they can continue to release tier 6 ships and use those tier 6X tokens or other variants of it to make us have to pay more to max out our ship. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, there's lots of options. It's just a matter of how they execute it. Yeah, lots of quality of life things that they could also do. Absolutely. Oh, let me swap back to this character. I think I need to do my red alert. I don't remember if I did that yet. I've not. Yeah, I remember people asking about that years ago, and just nothing's ever happened. So for the event campaign, there is a name out there now for the final event. It is called The Feast, and it just says coming soon. So it's got a filler picture in here of the Halloween event. It is not going to be the Halloween event. Um, but we'll be finding out more information about that soon. Yeah, I'm just gonna join public queue for Tholian Red Alert. I just need to get my daily done for this, so. Chell. Terrible. Terrible, Chell. Yeah, I think adding that wingman mechanic to fed Klingon and Romulan ships would be interesting. And that's definitely another thing that they can monetize. Did they? Okay. Steven, how you doing? Only ever wanted the ability to see more of my ship on console. Yeah. The sail stuff. The only ship that they've done that I can think of that has like deployable sails is or things like that is the Sona Collector. And I don't think that ship was well received, and the reason it wasn't very well received is because the stats on it were quite rough for it being a promotional ship. And Rising Cruiser, good point. The Sona Collector is one of those ships where if they just did a couple different changes to the seating on it, it would have been such a better ship. But it's a promo ship that has a lieutenant commander and an ensign spec seat. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The Lobby and the Lockbox Sona ships have higher spec seats than it does. It just doesn't make sense. They intentionally made it worse. Like this ship I'm in right now, this is the nanny that I use on this character. It is, it's got a full commander and a lieutenant. It's got a full commander command and a lieutenant intel. Now, if I swap over to the collector, it's a lieutenant commander. Was it intel and then like an ensign temporal? Yeah, they did the same thing with the Herc Dread, where they didn't give it a second spec seat because they thought it had enough going for it with its special gimmicks. Gas fuming ship or gas farming, yeah. And here it is with the sails deployed. Terrible. Yeah, people always find nice ways to bypass the filters. Yeah. The bridge officer seating on this is just rough. Lieutenant Commander Intel, Ensign, Temporal. It's a good looking ship. Like it's neat. But at the same time, it's so hard to justify given that the bridge officer setup is so neutered. It also turns really slow while this is enabled. Turn rate of 4. But the animation's nice, it closing up is neat. Like, they put a lot of time into the animations. It's just a shame that the ship doesn't get much use because the design of it, the stats layout of it is just rough. Yeah, that turn rate of 4 is only while the sails are out. When you close the sails, it goes back to its normal turn rate that is much higher. I don't remember what it is. Yeah. If names are too long in stow, it can be rough. Yeah, an ensign, and it's a science ship, and then the temporal seat is on an ensign. Like, come on, Cryptic. Has any of the recent ships sold well? I don't know. Like, hello, Webs. Which one are you in? Are you in the Fleet Gagarin? Um, what are the recent ships that we've gotten? I gotta think here. Yeah, there's lots of Norways, absolutely. But Infinity, like if we look at recent promo ships and lockbox ships, like we get to the promo box here. You don't see a ton of the Sagans running around. You don't see a ton of the Chevals. You don't see a ton of the Section 31 Intel Dreads. You don't see a ton of the Kirks. Well, I guess you did see a lot of those initially, but what is the last ship on here that we really saw a lot of people flying other than the Inquiry? So the last promo ship that I think was actually like really popular, I think was the Inquiry. Like for the newest. I mean, obviously the Discovery flight deck cruisers are still really popular. Yeah. When we look at the lockbox side of things, I mean, I did see a lot of Emerald Chains for a little bit, but that's diminished. Um, like what is the last actually like popular ship here? The Mirror War ship? Yeah, people bought the Emerald Chain for its size. Can't justify spending real money with the power creep rate? Yeah. The Terran Dreadnought? Yeah, I guess there have been a few people that have been going after this one. It's really it's the dual hangar bay ship for those of you that don't have uh the temporal Donnie from the 10th anniversary pack. Because this is a full commander temporal ship with 2 hangar bays for those of you that like to do beam overload things. Cali class. Have there actually been that many people flying a Cali around though? On console, it's the Liberated Borg. The issue with the Liberated Borg, the Borg Juggy, is the supply of that is so much higher than most other ships because people that open lockboxes open that lockbox intentionally trying to get as many of the Borg Doffbacks as possible. I don't know. It really is niche to see people in some of these older, some of these ships. Really, the most common. I'm just trying to think of what the most common lockbox ship I've seen people flying around is the Mirror Warship. Probably in the past couple years. The Mirror Strikewing Escort, you could also say also. Well, people don't really fly that. They get it for the trait, and that's it. Promo wise, yeah, the Janeway definitely had some people go for it, but I think the Inquiry is the big one there, and you see a lot of Inquiries flying around. But you don't see many Chevals, you don't see many of the Sagan class command cruisers. The Kelvin Enterprise is good, and then there's also the fact that the legendary version of the Kelvin Enterprise is basically a vengeance without a hangar bay. Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever put that into the like a MUDs bundle. I know they put it in Lobby, but now there is precedence for them putting the ships that they've done into Lobby store into MUDs bundles because the primary faction pack had one of the legendary or one of the promo versions of the bug ship in it, and that bug ship had previously been in the Lobby store. What is the best experimental weapon? It's the Soliton Wave Impeller from the Rising Corvette. Yeah, Vengeance is quite common because it's so cheap. Yeah. Yeah. And also, something that's been interesting, having talked to some people that do a lot of market stuff, whenever ships get added to the MUD store, it almost never actually impacts the price of the ships long term. And Webs, to clarify that answer, um, the Soliton Wave Impeller from the Rising Corvette, which is in the MUD store if you don't have it, um, it's really good because it can be scaled up. It scales up its damage based on your weapon power, but it also can scale up based on your engine power. So it'll fire faster and reduce its recharge time with higher levels of engine power. So under most conditions, it will blow everything else out of the water when it comes to experimental weapons. Like it ended up doing 3 times what the Mjolnir did. Yeah, Muds and EC Market have largely different customers. Exactly. Um, I haven't like done a side-by-side comparison on the two, but from what I understand, they were looking to be quite comparable. Picard, how you doing? I was really hoping that the new ship would be added into this to the Infinity Lockbox with yesterday's patch. So I have a question for all of you. We pull it back up. How many of you have seen anyone, or have you ever seen anybody flying the ship, the Undine Chirax bio warship? This is the T6 version of the Undine Nicor. Have you seen anybody in the entire time you have played fly this ship? Don't think so? Can't tell any of the Undine ships apart? Yeah, a lot of people have the tier 5 one. The tier 5 one was quite popular. Yeah, it's so here's another question I have for you guys. And no reason I'm asking. No possible reason. If you had to choose between the Quajon pilot frigate and the Undine Chirax bio warship, hypothetically, which one would you go for? You know, would you go for the Nicor, the T6 Nicor, the Chirax here, or would you go for the Quajon pilot frigate? The Quajon has a commander pilot and a lieutenant command. It's a 5-3 setup. The the Chirax is a 4-4 weapon setup. It's got only 4 bridge officers, and it's got a commander tack with pilot and a lieutenant commander universal with intel. Yes, I know that there is a third option. Shush. Terrible. Terrible. If anyone picks that, that's terrible. 16 elite bridge officer tokens. What a joke. Hypothetically, if these two were options in a Muds bundle, and you were going between these three, which of these would you pick? Would you pick the Quajon or the T6 version of the Undine Nicor? Ian, how you doing? 4 bridge officers, drop your crit and crit D. Yeah, I think the Quajon I think wins out for a lot of people. I mean, the Quajon is 5-3 versus 4-4. The Quajon has a Federation battle cloak. It does have raiding or raider flanking. It has the weapon system efficiency command. Undine comes with the cool space Barbie console. Yeah. So the Biowar ship does have that super laser. It doesn't do a ton of damage from what I remember, but it does exist, yes. So the mastery between each of these. The Quajon has the proximity alert trait. Improved survivability based on rank of nearby enemies, so it gives you a bunch of resistance, lowers your threat gen, does a bunch of things if you have a target near you. And then the Undine one potentially could be interesting in a nanny situation where when you hit attack power and Omega or any pilot bridge officer ability, you and all teammates within 10 kilometers will gain the Omega Bond buff, which will boost damage and defense. Console-wise, the Quajon has the Smasher assembly, so isn't this like it rams into the target basically? The and this one, the console on it is the Undine laser, so you have to use an anti-proton build to really boost it up, and I don't think the damage on it's that great. Gotcha. Well, I'm just curious because this is gonna be like I definitely like looking between the two. I think the Quajon probably does have the better, like the more useful setup for how most people would fly their ships. But I've got like nostalgia that draws me over to the T6 version of the Nicor, because the Nicor was a really good T5 ship. Exodus Speedfall build on the Undine. It's awful but fun. I don't know. Um, all I'll say is some of you can figure out which of these two you like more next week. Okay, back in game. Let's do another pet comparison. When did I start playing? 2012 is when I actually started playing. I didn't have a computer good enough to play STO back in the day when it first came out, and I picked it up a couple months after it went free to play. If I look at the logs here, Billy, how's it going? This my main character, or my old main. The first main I had was created on June 30th, 2012. So a little bit over a decade ago. So, what is another set of hangar pets that can go on any ship that you guys would like to see tested? Like universal hangar pets. Yeah, if you go to the logs on the journal, go to captain's logs and scroll all the way down, it'll tell you when you made that character. Vacation hangar pets. Let me see if I have those unlocked. I may not have those unlocked to try those. Let me drag that over. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have vacation ones unlocked. Just ran an ISA and my keybinds were activating the wrong tray. That's weird. Drone ships. a good idea. Me.
Platinum is a girl's best friend.
Terrible. Aren't stingers like absolutely terrible, Chell? And do I even have those unlocked? Is going to be the other question. Does this character even have sad, or is this a pre-sad character? Okay, this is a pre-superior area denial character.
Get your Comet cocktails. 4.7% discount for the next 3 minutes.
The issue is I don't have some of these pets unlocked, so I can't get the elite versions. So I'm pretty much limited to the ones that I have here in my dilithium store. Not a sad character. Yeah, it's a character that was copied over probably a long time ago. Ranger, how's it going? Stingers. I don't seem to have them on my list. Terrible Ranger. Yeah, this is the issue for me to do testing over on Tribble with some of these pets is I just don't have them unlocked. Elite Scorpion Fighter Squadron, that's a good call, and I can grab a set of those from the Romulan rep. Are these still done via project? Here we go, fill. I don't have enough Romulan marks. Terrible. Let me grab some here. Elite shield repair units, terrible. Compare them to the new car rep one. I don't remember. It's been so long. The car rep has the elite widow hanger pets. The elite widows here and these Romulan scorpions used to actually be really popular. So I'm going to do them one at a time, and we're going to compare them against the top performer, which is the Rare Douche. These are unfortunately the best hanger pets in the game currently, performance-wise. If you have superior area denial. So let me get these fully launched out. Yeah. Indeed. Get the other copy of the game minimized. Let me set to render scale 0.01, so it's not using up too much resource-wise. There we go. The issue with those support frigates is that they have torpedoes on them, right? So they can steal CF. If you're boosting a torp user, you want to do everything possible to remove anything else in the map that can potentially steal concentrate fire powers. Okay, so I need to set test dummies in here. Number of test dummies 5. I need to gravel them together. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm boosting these pets up with superior area denial. which is, you know, one of the best carrier boosting traits you can get. It's also good for non-carriers in some situations for the debuff aspect. Then I also have the Jirok console on to give my pets a little bit of crit chance here and there. And then I have the Swarmer Matrix, which is a universal console that you can go buy off the exchange at a very budget price. Let me see what those are currently at, actually. Yeah, that's the issue with a lot of the pets we have is um them having torpedoes on completely ruins their viability at a high level of play in coordinated runs with a torp user. Okay, so want to look for, what was it that I was just looking up? Oh, Swarmer Matrix. Yeah, so this Swarmer Matrix console is under 10 million EC, and it's got a passive on it that will give you a 30% boost to turn rate, flight speed, and damage for your hangar pets and targetable torpedoes. The clicky on it also does quite well, and it also has a passive on it for plus 50 projectile weapon training. Yeah, basically. Nice. I still feel like I might grab a Seneca at some point to mess around with. Okay. I'm going to start this test up. That did not launch. There they go. A lot of chemosite, yeah. So right now we are testing the rare quality Todouche fighters versus the ultra rare quality Romulan fighter squadrons that you get from the Romulan reputation. And specifically it's the Todouche fighter squadron versus the Romulan Scorpion fighter squadrons. Again, some of the Todouche have like killed themselves or something. I don't know what happened, but there's a couple of them missing. Yeah, it's a lot of visual effects for sure. I don't have the elite gems on this character, unfortunately. That will be the issue testing that. So at the 5-minute mark, I will be going and analyzing the combat log to see what's going on. Terrible. Independent wingmate only boosts a single pet, so you see how I have 12 pets currently out? If I had independent wingmate on, it would only boost a single one of those 12. So independent wingmate is really only worth it for ships that have frigate pets, where there's like 2 ships per hangar bay. This is the Tribble test map. Yes, I'm over on Tribble doing some comparisons between some pets. So yeah, this is the Tribble test map that is exclusive to the Tribble test server. I wish it was on live, but unfortunately it's not. At 5 minutes, I'm going to hit my keybind to log out of this character. I'm only testing pets right now that I can toss on my D7 here. Let me take a look at the parse from this. So right now I'm just testing a couple pets that are usable on any ship, and that I have access to via the Dill store over here. Yeah, still only has it on the Tribble test server, which is ridiculous. Okay, pets. Oof. The Elite Scorpion Fighter Squadron, unfortunately, did not as much as the Todouche. So 1, 8, 6, 1. So the Elite Scorpion Fighters only did 55% of what the Rare Todouche did. And the Rare Todouche are basically free because they cost 25 KEC from the vendor at any of the big shipyards. The issue I was having, the reason I took it off, is because I was seeing, and there were a few people having issues where it wasn't always activating. So when it does work, it would sometimes also work too well. Independent Wingmate is supposed to only boost a single pet from a single bay, but in some cases it was boosting a pet from both bays. In some cases it wasn't boosting a pet from either bay. I stopped using it because it was just too buggy. That's when I was trying to use it. Yeah, the Todouche just, they hit more. Like that, they were both able to shoot at targets for the same amount of time. And the Todouche did more. So it's just something with the Todouche. Those fighter squadrons just do so much. Now I'm gonna do the same test, but we're gonna swap the Romulan Scorpions out for the Widows, the Tholian Widows from the Tholian Reputation, because those were requested here. Gotta wait a minute here for cooldowns. Terrible. So hypothetically, just this is a pure hypothetical, but the immolating phaser lance. How many of you hypothetically would buy a Muds bundle to get that on account unlock? I'm just curious of the 50 or so people here. How many of you would pay to get the immolating phaser lance, the best phaser lance that exists in this entire game, on account wide unlock? Steven, absolutely. And the thing is, the Toadoosh have already been nerfed before. As a console player, probably not. Yeah, Muds can be expensive, and for me, it's hard to justify buying a Muds bundle because I only have a couple characters that I really put builds on, and I already have most of the premium ships that I'd want on those characters. They have that, Ryan, with the Amari, but they also have that with the DS9 Muds bundle with the Quarks Marauder. That, I mean, the Ferengi interior is probably the most convenient to use. Yeah. For me too, I don't think I want to buy Muds bundles at 50% off. Ryan, so the Amari in the Stealing Time Muds bundle has an interior that has like an exchange console, bank console, all that, but it's such a pain to use. But there's also the Quarks Marauder in the DS9 Muds pack that can also be quite good, and that is in like that's one of the best trade interiors you can use is the Ferengi one. It's like the most convenient. Yeah, definitely. The Immolating Facial Lance is one of those consoles where it's good. It sucks that it exists for phasers. Yeah, the Amari interior really sucks though, but the Ferengi one actually is like super small. It's super easy to use. Eh. Like this is the Ferengi interior, okay? Like this is where you beam in, and you just take a few steps back. You've got a mail console here. You've got bank and exchange right here, and then you have a Dabo table here. What sucks about the Amari interior? You have to run a very long time to go and get to the other parts of it. In fact, let me show you quick. I think the character has an Amari. Yeah, the issue with the Amari, and I still just use the Ferengi, um the old event one, the Nagas or whatever. I use that on all of my characters. Um but if you don't have that on account unlock, Quarks Marauder from that bundle is one of the few things in that bundle that might be interesting. I need to get rid of a ship here. Let me claim the Amari from the Mud Store, because I did that. The Stealing Time pack is the only one that I've went and picked up. Mom, thank you for the $5. Let me get that update on the Black Friday. I'm almost at a point where I'll have enough to go through and get two of those $200 end packs if I want. Okay, I need to lower the render scale. The stream lags if I have it at the full resolution. So 0.7. So Let me grab the Amari. Hope I claimed it twice. So the issue with the Amari interior is the fact that you have to run a mile to get to anything. How does the Hollow Lita work? Is it fully functional? Oh no. Oh no. But now you can run as a cat? That's true. Now I gotta wait for the bridge to load. Mike? Mike, I'm only saying a hypothetical. I'm not saying for sure, Immolating Phaserlance is going to be available as an account-wide unlock in a hypothetical Muds bundle. It's all hypothetical. I have no idea, I'm just making a guess. Yeah, let me grab the cat, because it's that'll make it much easier for me to go through and get to back of the ship here. What was the icon for that again? So the issue is, to get back to the exchange, you have to go down this long hallway and get into this room back here. Because it's like a freighter interior. So let me just make sure this is actually on my tray. And let me get to the back of the ship. Full, thank you for the sub. And then when you're into this back room here, you have to go down to this middle area. And there's the exchange. The mail. And the bank. Is this the bank here? Yeah. So it's just a bit of a walk to get to the back. And if you want to get out of it, this cat thing from the Halloween event, I'm so glad to have gotten it, honestly. Yeah, they should let you just stay as the cat. But you see, it's not. Yeah, the cat charm is for sure. Like it's quite a bit of a walk to go back to the exchange, bank, and mail. When you compare that to the Ferengi ship I was just on, or it's really dark in here. Let me boost this brightness up. Is there a turbo lift to get up like a bit easier? Let's leave it at this for a second. Like, is there actually a lift for me to get up and down easier from here, or? So there isn't a turbo lift. If you go down here to access the bank mail exchange and you want to get back to the front of your ship, you do actually have to just run up this. That sort of sucks. But that's the issue with the Amari interior, is that it's a bit of a walk. It's the Tuffley interior, or the Kobayashi Maru, which is the same interior as the Tuffley. It's really quite a bit of a walk. Let me turn the brightness back down. A neat little warp core back here. That's neat. But my favorite trading or like interior for like doing exchange work on is still the Suliban cell ship. The Suliban cell ship interior is just really convenient. Like it's really just simple. Like bank, mail, exchange, all in this one console. Yeah. Sorry, how's it going? Yeah, Martin, indeed. Okay, let me set the render scale back down to 0.01. High quality Minecraft graphics. Okay. Back to the testing over here on Tribble. Going to do the exact same thing as before. I'm going to cloak up. I'm going to call in test dummies. I'm going to set number of them to 5. And going to do the same thing as before. Going to reposition myself just so that I'm lined up behind the third ship here. For test dummy 3. I will grab well them and pull them closer, like once I start shooting. So in this case, we are testing the Rare Toadouge versus the Elite Tholian Widow Fighters. Back up just a smidge more. Red, thank you for the sub. Yeah, cell ship interior is great. Pets did not launch there for a couple seconds. That's fine. It's why I do the test for 5 minutes, so even if I have a little bit of a messy start, there's enough time for things to improve. I think the Silic just has like the standard interior. It's nothing special. Yeah, so you either have the Amari there, or there is a Ferengi ship in the DS9 Muds bundle. The issue is the DS9 Muds bundle just doesn't really have a ton of value in it. I can already tell you these Tholian pets are not going to be doing great. Yeah, and I would wait for Christmas, like around Christmas and New Year, before you buy any Muds bundles, just in the rare chance that there's another 75% sale. The only time Cryptic has ever run a 75% Mud sale was during a flash sale right before Christmas in 2020. So there's always a chance that they could do the same thing. No, I was just looking at the Muds bundle stuff the other day. I had an idea for a video a couple days ago where I was thinking of, do I do like a Muds bundle tier list, which bundle is best, but I'm sort of glad I held off, especially with leaks now showing that there's a new Muds bundle coming next week, most likely. Like, I would have been annoyed to have done a video, and then a week later, needing to already update that video. Michael, thank you for the sub. So yeah, performance on these Tholian Widows is not as good. I'll do the same thing. I'll log out when I hit 5 minutes on the timer here. Both set of pets had equal amount of time to get out and do things. Yeah, that'd be nice. If they did a 50% legendary sale, I would definitely be picking up like the legendary Miranda, because I want to mess around with that trait for some solo builds. I think we're going to see the Terran warship. It's either going to be the Terran warship or the sticks in next year's Muds bundle. I honestly, I think the Terran warship would be really good for a 13th anniversary bundle. Like, holy shit. Like, what? Look at this difference. A reminder, the Romulan drone ship, or the Romulan fighter squadrons from the Romulan rep did 55% the damage of the Todouge. Let's break this one down. 2000 or 20,018.26 divided by 115,883.3. So basically, the Romulan fighter squadrons did 3 times the damage that the Tholian Widows did. Yikes. Now, there's been no sticks in the Muds pack yet. Yeah, so the Tholian Widows are a bit disappointing. So it's just these damn Todouge. They're just so good. And no problem, Waldo. Now, I want to do another test. I want to see what the difference is performance-wise between the normal quality Valkyrie fighters and the elite Valkyrie fighters. So that's going to be the next one here. Ed, that is great. That is great. The Widows did less because they were in mourning. That's great. So let's see. What do you guys think will do better? The rare quality Valkyrie fighters or the elite Valkyrie fighters? Which, let's just take some guesses before I do this test. Which do you guys think is going to do better? Because I spent a lot getting these elite ones. If they don't perform better, I'm going to be a bit salty. Rare by a mile. Oof. Can I do a poll here? Yes, I can. Which will do more DP? Am I spelling these right? I didn't realize you could do polls on here. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay. There's the poll. Which will do better, the normal or the elite? How many targets? There's going to be 5 targets. You would think the elite would be better, but you look at the Toadouge and the rare Toadouge beat out the elite ones. A lot of you are pulling for the elite ones. So the rare quality ones have high yield 1 and spread 1. The elite ones have high yield 3 and spread 3. Lots of people are going for the elite ones. Let's see. I'll leave that poll open for the next couple minutes here, but I'll close it before the poll ends. Okay, I'm gonna cloak up again. I mean, it took them like 9 years to do anything about Infiltrator. You know, I want the elites to do better. Yes. Pretty much how I feel. Interactive TV I dreamed of in the 80s. I'm glad to be able to provide some entertainment here. I'm going to back up again a little bit. Smidge more. They should all get dragged into the dummy 3 there. Okay. Waiting for anchored stacks to build up. Please test the new support runabouts too. This is with SAD. So this is with SAD, the Jirok console, and the Swarmer Matrix, which is a cheap universal console that you can buy on the exchange. Don't worry, I know somebody out there is going to say, how many of those do you have up there? I don't have any posted right now, but I'm considering posting a ton of them. Some pets, I think most pets have like the same weapons. It's the abilities that change. Okay. I'm gonna start buffing up. The pets launch. There they go. Look at all those torpedoes, though. It looks really immersive. This poll's 50-50. Yeah. Absolutely. The torpedoes from the Valkyrie fighters look awesome. Welcome back, Martin. Yeah, look at all those torpedoes that just keep coming out of them, like... I don't think I have target that explosion on. I don't know if I have that on this character. I'll take a look afterwards. Yeah, they've been doing the news a little bit earlier this week, but it's because the times changed. I don't know. I'll have to look at that afterwards. I don't remember what target this explosion does. So hangar bays will launch faster with higher aux power. So if I need to replenish any pets out, then the higher aux power would help with that. I'll take a look afterwards. We're almost done here. Another 30 or so seconds. That'd be why I don't have that ship at all. Two, one, disconnect. Okay. Target that explosion. Oh. So you have to be running a torpedo for it, okay. After activating any torpedo or command bridge officer ability, when your next torpedo deals damage, up to 5 nearby allies launch a torpedo at the target, dealing kinetic damage. It might be okay, but I've just never messed with it before. Why is it? It's part of the legendary Excelsior? That's weird that it's also part of the mastery of the legendary Excelsior and those other two. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, I might look at that trait. So let me end the poll here. 56% of you vote, or 57% voted for the elites, 42 for the normals. Who won? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Here we go. I am happy to see that my investment of dilithium and fleet credits actually was worth it. The elite ones do perform better. So if you went out and spent money on the elite Valkyries, you are seeing a performance improvement. I do not have the ability with the with SCM to like show you like the pet, or I guess I could actually. Or no, I can't show you like the individual pet damage sources. I'd have to use like fcat. I thought I had cat on here. Let me grab cat quick. Let's grab the file here. Logs. Okay. So let's compare the top performing Valkyries of each one here. So the Elite Valkyrie, the best one, had 4,355 DPS from the spreads, and with the best rare quality one, it had like a third of that. So let's see if we, yeah, most of their damage comes from the pulse cannons. Yeah, that's a good increase. So between the two, let me go back to SCM and let's do the comparison again. 68611.74 divided by 7.3. Yeah, so it's a 25% increase. Yeah, like Sarcasm Detector said, going from the normal quality to the elite quality is a 25% increase for the Valkyrie fighters. David, hopefully support can get you get your account link there so you can get that. They used to make it easy to link accounts, but they changed it a couple years back for some reason. Okay. So I don't have Elite Toadouge on this character. That'd be an interesting one to see. I saw someone mention the support runabouts. Let me scroll back up in chat. Ed, I could take a look at the support runabouts, but it's going to only be the advanced version. I don't have the ability to get the elite over on Tribble.
Round and round it goes.
But at least can test those. Yeah. I think the torp damage on those Valkyries is quite a nice improvement.
4.7% discount for the next 3 minutes.
Because there's no like sad equivalent, right? To constantly give your pets like torpedo spreads or high yields. I mean, there's obviously you can give them high yields through CF. But there's no like sad equivalent, right? The House Mokai Raiders don't have any torps on them, do they? I don't know. I'm not going to go like be able to test every pet today. I don't have most of them unlocked on this character. The House Mokai ones I don't think I've ever used. I don't know if I have access to them. I don't on this character. Chell, you were asking about the stingers earlier too, right? I didn't understand what you were asking for earlier. I thought you were talking about a different set of ships, but I guess they are right here. So I'll grab those. I also... Yeah, I'd... Let me... Okay. Sarco Pet's okay. I'd also be curious to see how the Romulan Snakehead fighter squadrons do. I don't know if I have the elites on this character of those. And I should probably do one also with like the Alliance fighter squadron, just to see how those compare to the Todouge. But let me head back in there. It lags really hard whenever I I'm trying to load a map here. Okay, so let's change one of these over to the Todouge. And then this other one, let's do the support runabouts. Let me get these launched out before I do anything. Same thing, gonna position, I'm gonna go about 2.5, 3 kilometers behind test dummy 3. Back up just a smidge. The others will get dragged into it from the gravel. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer than before. The extra support fighter will launch as soon as I decloak here, so let me get buffed up. Glorious hair, I know, it's terrible. Yeah, I'm just doing some comparisons between some pets. I'm using the Zap Vash Omni Beam. So, just if you want to go on the exchange and grab one, it's going to be Zap Vash. I don't know how the nanite repair payload would work there. I'm testing them to give them a little bit more debuff. You're right. I don't need to be firing. It's adding debuff that you would normally see in the run. So there's a constant application of beta, sad, and I also, if the pets did somehow die, like these Toadooge occasionally do, if I'm cloaked, I can't launch more of them. I have not done that comparison yet, but everything online from other people that have done testing points towards the Toadooge, the rare quality, still beating out the higher ranks. You know, and I probably do not need to go the full 5 minutes. But I'll keep going for 5 minutes here just to give it the same amount of time as the other test. Updated that list, advanced or a bit higher? Okay. That makes me wonder then how the elite Toadooge are comparing against the advanced. Rob, in order for anything like that to potentially or theoretically happen, we would need people online for that. Nick's still asleep. I do the same thing at 5 minutes. Sark's over here starting up a fight. There's a few different approaches to Thaleron runs. The one Chell's looking at is doing like still a split run. Which the split approach is definitely a lot harder, but has a higher potential. Okay. Yeah, you'd want to use the ambush bonus for it, so. Yeah, you'd want somebody to use like Graviton to bring all of the mobs right up in front of the Thaleron user. So here's how the support runabouts did versus the Toadooge. The only issue with the issue with the attack part and Omega part is that Beta Beta does a lot. So basically, with these advanced support runabouts, you would need to have 11 of these slotted on your build to equal out what one bay of Toadouche can do. Yeah, that's a rough one. Thaleron build? What's a Thaleron build? But yeah, Rob, I am down like later on if we have people later tonight, like 12 hours from now. Just have to see who's around. But my build is still set up and ready to go on that character, so 12-hour stream. No. I'll probably take a nap in between now and then. And I'm not going to be like one of those Twitch streamers that has the camera pointed at my bed, you know. So yeah, the advanced support runabouts, that's a bit rough there, isn't it? That's really rough. That's a yikes right there. NG tank set up and good to go. Wonder. Yeah, Cheops, I went through and read that. I don't know, like my thoughts on it, like, you know, my comment on being like whoever made the decision for those nerfs should probably be fired. You know, just think about the customer, like the customer trust in Cryptic right now. People don't trust them. People don't trust Cryptic to not go through and nerf consoles. Every time a ship comes out now, people are asking or saying that they'd buy the ship, but they're worried about the console or whatever getting nuked, you know, later on. Yeah, it was tongue in cheek for sure. Borticus, you know, I even later on in that, I went through and, you know, said he's done some very positive things for the community, and him leaving is going to have some negative impact. You know, we're not going to see a pilot spec revamp now. Chell's favorite ship is right here. The legendary scimitar. Yeah, I thought overall like there were some positive things said about port. Um yeah, they're working on a new project internally at Cryptic for sure. A test of mirror frigates would be interesting too. So every test I am going to do though, I am going to do in comparison to the Toadouche. A meta build. I know. Give me a second. SSM, I know. Just a minute while I check something here. I wasn't. What was that? You trying to subtly tell Cryptic what you wanted the next Muds bundle? No, they're not going to listen to me. That was. Well, yeah, let's go with that approach. That probably sounds better. Got messages. Okay, let me. This is a good one. Hold on. Yeah, they're gonna definitely. They're if they listen to me, that'd be crazy. Where the hell is this run? Trying to find something. Just give me a minute. Justin, thank you for the sub. So what was this date? 10/29. Nuke the desktop audio because I don't know what's going to be. Here you go, Chell. Let me help your immersion. Let me help your immersion there, Chell. Are you ready for this? Was this the good one? It wasn't even that great of max like hits on him. Had this run been clean, it would have been the top of the table. Gotta love Thaleron. Look at that group enemies right there. Just not buffed up enough. Terrible. Not invited, I know. Swarmer Matrix. This is a good market. It's the ultimate pet console. You know, people accuse me of market manipulating all the time, and the sad thing is like I could probably like sell a ton of these consoles, but I'm too lazy to go through and pop all the console boxes open. Ow. Toxic Rob. Take some off your hands. Okay, the next one. Let's shorten these tests a little bit so I can get through these a little bit faster. Let me also check to make sure there wasn't just like a blog that went out or anything. Someone, if you can, keep an eye on the news, like the Yark page, and let me know if there's a blog that goes up at all for news. Check right now. PC patch notes, nothing new on console. If there is news today, I wouldn't expect a blog until probably 2 hours from now. I'm expecting them to, there's 3 different things that they can do. They can do the new Muds bundle. They can announce that. They can announce the lockbox ship that they showed off on 10 Forward this week. Or they can announce the next event that should also be starting next week. So there's 3 different things that they can go and do. Does STO have a target forwarding mechanic like some MMOs? I don't remember if they like there's targeting keybinds that are used in a PvP environment. I don't know if there's like pick a thing to like keybind the target of your target. We pop SCM back open here. Yeah, it'd be a weird coincidence, Warpcore. It'd be a really weird coincidence if that Muds bundle that I theorized and said that I wanted, happened to show up. Would be crazy fast work. Okay, let's do Elite Alliance Fighter. Or wait, which one is I gonna do first? Let's get the Mirror Universe Shuttlecraft. I'm gonna shorten these down. We're gonna do 3-minute tests now. That should be more than enough time to still get some data. Just so I can start to go through these a little bit faster. Gotcha. Okay. Let me... Okay, all those are out. They're docked. I'm gonna cloak, choose combat settings, test dummies, set to 5, targeting 3. It's just to make sure I always have that baseline, like, because there's going to be a little bit of run to run variance, so being able to just compare and look at the percentage of that they did compared to the Todouge, I think is a more consistent. Yeah, it's the triple map. It's great. It's the thing that needs to be on holodeck. SAB stands for my initials, actually, so... When I was in high school, I did have, like, an afro for a little bit. It did not look good. Well, I used to have the channel called SOB, right? So it's better than that. SAB is actually my initials. The SOB was just like a take that I had on my name for when I was doing PvP back in the day, because I figured, if I'm going against people, it'd be funny if, that they just think of me as an SOB. So Okay, I'm gonna go to 3 minutes on this one just so I can get through some of these pets a bit faster. Only wins. I did win quite a bit in PvP back in the day. In STO, I used to do a ton of PvP. You know, the channel used to be SOB's Casual Corner. My main used to be SOB. STO did have an active PvP scene at one point. Okay, at 3 minutes, I'm hitting the button to log out. And let's see what the Mirror Universe Shuttlecraft did compared to the Toadouche. Alan, how's it going? Good morning to you. Let's see here. The Toadouche did a little, like 3.5 times more. You get the point, though. It's 123k versus 37k. It's the Toadouche just absolutely destroyed the Mirror Universe Shuttlecraft. Yeah. That was not the same game we have today, that's for sure. It's a completely different game back then. So the Elite Mirror Universe Shuttlecraft, in the same time frame, just did not do that amount of damage. Next test is going to be the advanced quality Toadouche fighters. I grab some of those. Yeah, these are the Mirror Universe Shuttlecraft, the ones that people like to use on tort builds. So they don't. So the Valkyries have been the closest so far. And I'm curious to see what the Elite Alliance fighter squadrons do. But first, I want to try the Advanced Toadouche fighter squadron just to see if there is an improvement versus the Toadouche that I have been using. So again, this is just going to be a 3-minute comparison, just to make it so I can go through some of these a little bit faster. I think it was like the Valkyries did. I posted it on the builds Discord, actually earlier, so I pulled it back up. I'll do another comparison, but yeah. So the Elite Valkyries did 71% of the damage that the Toadouche fighter squadrons did. I'll run another test, though, to verify that here in a few. Okay, this is Rare versus Advanced Toadouche. I do not have the Elites on Tribble. No, not bad at all. Like, it's a lot closer than some of these other ones. Like, the support runabouts, literally, like, were a 10th. Not even a 10th. Yeah, no news yet, Martin. I figure it'll either be 45 minutes from now or an hour or 45 minutes from now. Okay. I've got 3 minutes on cooldowns. I'm going to step away real quick and run to the bathroom while these cooldowns go. So I will be right back. Rob, to answer your question about what you're waiting on, it's my bladder. Sorry. Let's go back to. I don't want to share that specific keybind because Cryptic has been going through nerfing them, but I'll send that. There you go. Okay, let me go back to in-game. Turn the webcam back on. Okay. Again, this is going to be rare versus advanced Toadouche on the Tribble test map against 5 static targets. They did not recall like I told them to, so now we gotta wait like 30 seconds. Recall. Not much really. Back a message here. What's new with Cryptic though? Just that the Bordicus has moved off the team. Like that's really the new stuff. Okay. Yeah, Warp Core, there's no keybind for that. You have to use something like Tiny Task, Auto Hotkey, or if your keyboard or mouse has a way to macro things, you have to do something like that. Yeah. Absolutely. Reminder, I'm only going to go up to 3 minutes here, and then I'll log out of my character. Three minutes of testing should be enough time to see if there's a difference. Yes, Federation captains can get the Toadouche. You can get the rare ones from the vendors at like any of your shipyards. Like on ESD, you can go and get the Toadouche. You should have them unlocked. It might have like a cross faction requirement, like you have to have the cross faction flying unlocked. I really don't know, but you should be able to get them. Okay. I should have put a poll up to see which was better. I completely forgot about that. I'm trying out the uncommon or the rare Toadouche fighter squadrons versus the advanced. And which was better? The normal ones were a fair bit better, like 20% better. So, rare toe dues are still the way. Going up to the advanced is actually a loss of their damage potential. So that's a bit rough. It's just something with these rare toe dues. They just do so much. Let's do a comparison now of the toe dues versus the alliance fighters. The reason I keep the toe dues on for each of these tests is just because that way I can get like a percentage of the damage rather than just the DPS comparison. Yeah, and literally, like, you can go to increase the render scale here. 7. Okay, so when you're on a character, this is a Federation aligned Romulan. If I go down to the shipyard, there's a vendor that lets you get equipment. There's one of these on ESD also. So you would go to Requisition Starship Equipment, and then there's a hangar category. And under that hangar category is a bunch of the rare pets that you can buy. Now, the toe douche should be on here, and they're right here on the list for me. So I already have some of these on this character, I believe, or not apparently. But point is, if you're on a Fed, you can still get them. Let me swap to a pure Fed character just to demonstrate that for people. Yeah. Same thing, hanger. If you have the EC, I don't happen to have EC on me right now. Let me just discard some random stuff. Yeah, that's enough EC. So here I have a discount because I'm on a Ferengi, but I can buy the Toadoosh Fighter Squadron right there on a Fed character. So they should be unlocked for you, and they do require that you run superior area denial for them to perform well. I should note that. So if you want them to do well, you have to have superior area denial. That comes off the Mir Strikewing Escort, which is in the 12th anniversary bundle, or is also available on the exchange as an option from your event campaign. It has multiple approaches to get it. Let me check something here. And yeah, you can save some deal. The advanced are definitely not worth it. That's a 20% difference, which is crazy. Okay. So let's do the Alliance Fighters. C-Store bundle that gives the most beneficial starship traits. I mean, the 10th anniversary bundle, if you're talking about like all of them. Let's see here. Yeah, literally the 10th anniversary bundle has so many things in it that give a lot of, like, you get so many traits with it. Ryan, specifically if you have the superior area denial starship trait, which is a premium trait. So yeah, the Arbiter is a good one too. If we're getting a legendary Mogai next year, that might change which one to go for. I'm just thinking too. If we look at expansion packs, the Gamma pack's probably not the worst thing ever. There's a good bunch of ships in there and some useful traits. that Cardassian bundle also for Calm Before the Storm. That's good to get, and it's also some solid ships there. If you wait for sales, these expansion packs are actually typically okay deals. They're under $100 per, and they include a bunch of ships. The Gamma one and the Delta one are solid. The Delta one is a little bit more dated, but the ships are still capable. The temporal stuff can be okay, but I can't really think of any notable traits from that off the top of my head. The Legacy of Romulus pack is heavily outdated. It has no tier 6 ships in it. I would say you might not even want to necessarily look at bundles. Let's ban that one. Or it could even finish. Terrible. So there's the Cardassian one that I mentioned. That might be something to consider, but you can also just get the ship. I don't know. Honestly, if you're looking for C-Store ships to get, maybe wait for Black Friday just in case they bring out the T6 coupons again. Because there is a chance that they do that. Without that trait, the Toduge are not worth it? Yeah. The Toduge are only worth it if you have SAD. And if you're wanting to boost Hangar pets, if you're wanting to do a carrier build, SAD is pretty much a core requirement to really boosting up a carrier build really far. Yeah. Okay. So Elite Alliance fighters versus the rare Toduge. The Elite Alliance fighters are fighter squadrons also. They have beam arrays and pulse cannons, but they also have focused assault, which is a mark on target buff that will boost the damage for any allies that shoot that marked target. So we're going to test that one here next. I've set them to recall. Hopefully they're listening. Okay. Get a cloak. I think the Toduge do like a fifth of their damage without SAD. Well, it's not. The superior area denial is off the mere Strikewing escort, so that will never be in a Muds bundle because it's already in a bundle in the C-Store. It's in the 12th anniversary bundle. So they'll never put. Oh, the Drock. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Drock probably won't be in there for 2 years. That's true, Chell. That is true. But I still want the comparison. Okay, here we go. I don't know the exact mechanics that causes it to do so well. Other than just the pulse cannons just interact really weird with the with SAD. What are the temps on my GPU right now? I'll check after this. Is the stream coming through a bit choppy or something? Oh no. Chadwick lost Serena. I think is the one you're missing there. Hypothetically is the true answer right there for that. No, I will not get it. I'm not going to unless. Oh wow, I'm really laggy right there. What the hell? If I go out of the game, it's not as bad. Okay, so being on the menu of the game is. Wow. Okay, that was really laggy. Task manager, performance. I mean, my GPU's not hot. It's at 40C. It's just that it's like I think the word for it like is GPU overload. Like basically because the game's running at 4K and the stream also running off of I thought I said the CPU, but I guess it must be back on NVENC. I needed a new GPU in early 2021 and February of 2021 I was lucky and I managed to get an MSRP 3090 ordered from Best Buy, the Founders Edition. So I got it at MSRP early 2021, but I also had opened up a brand new Capital One bank account, and they had a promo running where if I spent 1,500, I would get 250 back. So I don't like paying what I paid for the 3090, but I got it below MSRP when people were paying at a time where people were paying that much for a 3070. It's literally it's just GPU overload because the stream's also running off NVENC currently. So, Steven, how's it going? Let's check the parse for that. Currently my favorite show would be Lower Decks. Lower Decks has been really good. But long term, Voyager is always going to be sort of nice to me because Kate Mulgrew is from the same part of Iowa that I'm from. But DS9, is also good. TNG, like TNG, Voyager, DS9 were all really like my favorites. I could never really get into TOS, and Enterprise I did watch, but I didn't think it was as good as like DS9. Okay. The Todouge absolutely destroyed the Elite Alliance fighters. Let's get that percentage-wise. 84018.6 divided by 137,285.64. The Elite Alliance fighters did 61% of what the Todouge did. It is a distorted test shell. That is correct. But even if we, subtract 10% for or something, for the focused assault, like, the Todouge still clearly pull ahead. It is Holy Mike, but if I slap another bay of Todouge on, the number's just going to go right up. Todouge Fighter Squadrons, the blues. Yeah, so it is... Yeah, the Elite Alliance fighters would also benefit from the focused assault. But yeah. Nice, Webs. Okay, next up. I don't have another Bay of Todouge on this character. Let's do... So I did this one earlier, but let's repeat it. Let's do Elite Valkyrie Fighter Squadrons versus Todouge. Let's just double check my numbers from earlier today. I mean, I'm just assuming because I don't have the ultra rares, but if the rares were like 20% better than the advanced were, or if the normal ones were 20% better than the advanced, then the elite ones probably aren't going to hold up too well for the Todouge fighter squadrons. Okay, let me launch these again. My temps are still good. Check the Stoa subreddit, see if there's anything going on. Those are launched. Let me make sure they're recalled. Cloak up. F-22. Terrible. On the topic of planes there, I'm curious to see what the final appearances of the NGAD fighter. The NGAD. What we're using to replace the F-22. I know that's a random topic based off that. No, we're not using the F-35. If you go and look, there's another program we're doing called the NGAD, and we're funding it crazy right now because we want to replace our F-22s, and we want to make sure that they're ready by the end of the decade for the geopolitical situation in the surrounding Taiwan. It's going to supersede the F-22 as an air superiority fighter. I think if you look up on YouTube, like Sandbox News, what's his name, like Alex Howlings or whatever, he's got some really good videos on it. The 35 is still, actively being developed and all that, but it's, the F35, I'm sorry, the F35 is still, the F35 is like just general multi-role, right? Because the F-35 cannot carry as many missiles internally as the F-22. Like, if you go Google NGAD, you're going to see a bunch of stuff popping up for us just whaling in and funding that fighter project. Because the F-22 carries a ton more missiles internally than the F-35 does, and we don't have many F-22s, and we certainly need a few more in the next few years. Okay, 3 minutes. Yeah, next generation air dominance. And the Navy also has a similar project. Okay, let's take a look at the parse. I think the F-35 is like, they're doing fairly well now. Like, the price per unit's like, what, 80 mil almost? So the F-35, I mean, it started off bad, but it's definitely come along quite well. Kodush Fighter Squadron, of course, beat out the Elite Valkyries by a sizable margin, 82888.54 divided by 115, 360.4. Yeah, so it matches up what I saw earlier. Basically, the Elite Valkyries do 71.8% of what the Toduge do. Functioning F-35s. The F-35 can do what they call like a murder spec, or I think is what the name of it is, where it carries a bunch externally, but it can only carry 4 internally. The F-22 can carry, I think it's like 8 missiles internally. I could be wrong, but the 35s just do not have the internal capacity like the F-22 does. But what the F-35s really, what they're meant to do is they're meant to be really stealthy so that they can go ahead of our like our F-15s and F-16s, and they can relay targeting data back to our F-15s and F-16s, so the F-35s can get much closer. They can act as, each of them can basically act as an AWACS, and they can relay the data back to the F-15s, F-16s, because those, the F-15s and F-16s are not as stealthy as the F-35. So the F-35 can get closer, relay the data, and the F-15s, 16s can fire their missiles from a safe distance and get the hell out of there. And then we're also working on the loyal wingman, I think it is, where we can basically we'll have like some drone planes that fly next to our F-35s, F-22s, and the NGAD, and they'll just be like missile carriers. So they'll be sacrificial drones that, if needed, can be sacrificed because they're going to be much cheaper than normal planes. Yeah. Intel and Strategist, I think, is what most people would use webs, but Intel and Temporal is usually what I keep on, just because I have the majority of my builds use Intel Temporal, so I just keep that on so I don't forget to go back to the other stuff, or just so I don't forget to swap back to it if I did swap off of it. I don't have a ton more pets. Let's do the Noskin Stingers next. That's what Chell had mentioned. So we're gonna test the Stingers now versus the Toadouche. The Nausicaan Stingers have a Disruptor Pulse Cannon, a Photon Torpedo, and a Torpedo High Yield 1. I've got 2 minutes on cooldowns before I start this test. The Skull Fighters, let me see. I don't know if they've opened up specific pets to other ships. To be honest with you, I basically I either use like the Mirror Universe shuttlecraft because I'm on a torp build most of the time, or I like recently it's been these Valkyrie fighters because I just think that they're visually immersive. I have not tried the Romulan drone ship. I don't have the Simi on this character. And I'd probably do it on the Talaru or the Valkys for that test, just so I could show it side by side. Yeah, I'm not going to get around to testing every pet today, but those do look like they'd be interesting to test. And I do have the Goktad, so I do have those unlocked. Just not on this character right now. Just keep in mind, Astro, that if you want this level of performance from the Todouge, that is with superior area denial factored in. So keep that in mind that if you want to use the Todouge, the Valkyrie fighters, the Elite Alliance ones, then you really need to use the superior area denial trait. I think the Elite Mirror shuttles are almost at the top for like they're like the non-torp pets. So if you are running a torp build, they're the most compatible. I think that's why they're on the list as high as they are on there. Okay, same thing again. Test dummies. 5. I'm gonna get a smidge closer. There we go. Yeah. So you'd be able to get it then. Yeah, I looked at the wiki. The Skull Fighters are also unlocked by the Goktad, which I do have, but I don't have it on this character. So those I cannot grab right this second. No, the Goktad is a separate ship. The Goktad was a like a science carrier that came out with a previous winter event. Oh, you're fine, Chops. Yeah, I'm thinking what I might do is just go through and do like it's not going to be soon because I can't commit to doing videos right now. As soon as I commit to doing a video, it doesn't happen. But I would like to do a video at some point going over what is the best hangar pet. Yeah, anything that Borticus talked about that would have been a buff is probably dead in the water now. Like the pilot revamp, I don't think that's happening. Yeah, rip the pilot revamp. Ouch. Borticus was doing the specialization revamps each year. He was doing a specialization revamp, so he did Command in 2021, Intel this year, and next year is looking to do a pilot revamp. But Borticus announced last Friday that he was no longer part of the STO team as he is moving to a new project internally at Cryptic. So Cryptic is starting to work on a new game, and they're pulling people from the STO team. And Borticus happened to be one of the people that got moved over to that new project. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like STO is going to be around for a long time. It's just we may, I don't think we're going to get the type of updates that people are hoping for. Like, I think honestly, I don't foresee STO getting any more big systems changes. I just foresee them playing it safe and just continuing to release ships and new story missions. Yeah. So the Nausicaan Stingers did 43k versus the Toadouge at 121. Oh, so Kale did say Bort will occasionally come back? Okay. Yeah, I imagine if they have him internally there, that he would probably come in and help with some things here or there. Warp Core, that's pretty much what I am expecting. Um, yeah, none of these other pets in here are really going to be comparable. I mean, I did not test the Snakehead Fighter Squadron, but I already know those are not that good. Or at least they weren't good the last time I tried them. Maybe it's just normal disruptor cannons. Magic the Gathering 2 for the win? Yeah. That's like I don't want the next project they do to fail, but the issue is, and I know McStud talked about this a little bit, the Cryptic's approach to MMOs just doesn't work anymore. Like STO and Neverwinter are fine because they've been around for so long, but you can't launch an MMO nowadays with the monetization approach that they have and hope that it succeeds. Like most games, most games don't have you paying for power. Like STO, you pay for power at the end of the day. When it comes to pay to win, STO is very much you're paying for power. You know, you can do a lot of things free in STO, but at the end of the day, I'd very much see the argument that STO is pay to win because you are paying to improve your ship. And that's, they went in with the Magic the Gathering. It literally just had the same elements you see in STO and Neverwinter. The Sea Store the exact same, the Dilex the exact same, and it failed. Like I mean, we'll see. I hope they come up with something new, but my expectation is with Cryptic, they're going to use many of the assets they have already developed for their other projects, many of the same systems, and they're going to give them a new skin for whatever this new game is, and I just don't know how people are going to react to that. Yeah, still losing Jet was bad. That's right up there with the Foundry going away. Like both were huge losses for STO. rather on the mobile market. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I have been streaming for over 3.5 hours. I know that there's more pets that y'all would like me to try out, but I don't have all of them unlocked on this character right now. Um, I want to go get some food, and I've been streaming for a long time. So I'm gonna start to wrap things up here. Is there any final questions y'all have before I go? I'll give it another 3 minutes just to see if there's a bit of news here at the top of the hour. I don't know, Warp Core. I think there's still a little bit of meatloaf in the fridge, so I might go heat that up. Yeah, I mean, Gearbox, I imagine, would be investing in this new project also. Yeah, the Toadoosh, it's just... The rare Toadoosh are just so damn powerful if you have superior area denial. I was hoping that other stuff would perform better, or at least a bit more competitively, but, you know, there's a reason why you see the rare Toadoosh as the recommendation on, like, STO Better and most of the pet builds out there. But yeah, sarcasm. For your drain build, I would say the rares, even for any build, the rares are going to be better. Any idea if the Alito is coming to STO, and if so, when? Given that the ship model is only just seen, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it Q2 or 3 next year. Like, I could see that being a popular ship to come out around the summer event, to be honest. Let's close Tribble out. Also, the rate as I start to use Twitter a little bit, it's just like it's going downhill so fast. The Alito is a lower deck ship. It's from the season finale of Lower Deck Season 3. But yeah, I would say that's definitely going to arrive at the STO at some point. But I don't expect it to be here until at the soonest, I would say, like near the middle of next year. The Texas Clash, yeah. I can't imagine. 1701, how you doing, man? I saw you were thinking or you weren't thinking, you were doing a video on the Akira. I'm not sure how I'd build that out now. Like I was thinking with the build theory craft, I was thinking of doing something like that for the Valdor. Because that's a ship that I enjoyed so much back in the day. But I was thinking with the Akira, like I don't know how the hell I'd build it. Because if you do it as a 4-3, people aren't going to be happy. And they just gave us a command, Strike Wing Escort. Gotcha. Makes sense. I think if there's any blog today, I think we're gonna have to wait for another hour for it to be out. There's nothing here. They did turn the Strange New Worlds ROM ship pretty fast. Yeah, they got that into the game quite quickly. Darth Dragonborn, how you doing? Unfortunately, y'all are catching me right at the tail end of the stream. I did a lot of carrier or hangar pet testing in the stream today. Compared a lot of things to the rare Toadoosh. Unfortunately, the rare Toadoosh just absolutely destroyed pretty much everything else out there. Yeah, that's basically my thoughts, Chell, is with the Valdor, like we've talked about this on the past streams. basically just make it like a Vaudwar Juggernaut, but in Romulan form. Like that'd be fitting for the ship, because what I was going to go on with the Valdor was it should be due focused, but I don't want another Commander Intel. Like we've already got 2 legendary Romulan ships that are Commander Intel, so Commander Miracle Worker with Intel I think would be really good. The other things that I think I could live with if they did do Commander Intel, doing a Lieutenant Commander Temporal, I think I could live with that. If it was like a 5-2, 5-3 setup, I think I could live with that. Yeah, no news yet. Probably in an hour, it'll either be the announcement for the lockbox ship, in which case I don't need to do a news video on it. It could be the announcement for the new Muds bundle, or it's going to be the announcement of the next event campaign, the Feast event, in which we can see that we can do some brand new queues, because the new event is not another Upiter Erratus. It is different queues than all the other ones this year. Imagine a new specialization. The issue with the specs too is Bordicus is the one that made most of the specs, so him. Warp Core, I have not prepared a video on the new Muds bundle. I could, but I have not. So it's either going to be the new Muds bundle, the new lockbox ship, or this event campaign for the Feast, which is going to be 2 queues that we have not done before, and the prize is, what TFOs do I want it to be? The TFOs that I hope that this next event is for is Swarm and Bug Hunt. That's what I'm hoping for this event. That Warp Core, yeah, that's what I want. Hopefully Cryptic listens to my feedback there. What I'm hoping for the reward is a kit module that is related to V'ger. Crystalline and make it solo after. I wish. It's been a long time since we've had a Crystalline event, and I would like to see that queue utilized more. Yeah, Warp Core, hopefully that answers your question there. Okay. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Almost a 4-hour long stream here. So I think the members list is up to date. I might be missing someone. If I am, I do apologize, but I think this should be up to date now. But thank you to everyone for stopping by today. This is a really random stream, I know. I'll probably do another stream tomorrow. And in that one, I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah. There will be another one tomorrow. Video-wise, I'll keep an eye out for the news here and get a video out if it's the event campaign announcement or the Muds bundle. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.